This has been a failed state. A country without a central government for the last 20 years. They had no option. They want somebody to help them. They want somebody to restore security. And who is that person who is supposed to restore security? So that's what the Somalians are looking forward to. They want somebody to help them. Is it going to be a Somalian? Is it going to be a Ugandan? Is it going to be a UN person? Who is that person who is going to give them hope? Absolutely, the Somalians need a better life. When we came to this theater, it's a bit difficult because we are fighting in a built-up area. So the best we had to do was to adapt. We had to adjust ourselves very fast to fit within that type of fighting. Of course, fighting in an urban area or urban terrain is the most difficult warfare for any military in the world. The challenge of an urban warfare, in particularly to the UPDF, was that we had been fighting counterinsurgency in an open terrain. Mostly when you look at the northern part of Uganda, we had been operating in, and in southern Sudan, and then Congo areas. This is a different terrain from what we have got here.
Here, when you have not controlled the corridors and the tall buildings, that's where the problem is. But once you have already controlled the corridors, you have already constructed your escort barriers, and you have entered the tall buildings, then you take the day.
In the built-up areas, you find that the enemy, Al-Shabaab, and with their foreign allies, because Al-Shabaab is being backed by foreign fighters. And then you find they have dug tunnels. They are fighting along tunnels. And these are new concepts we did not know. They had bunkers within the built-up areas. They have dug tank ditches so that in case our armored vehicles are moving by, they could always fall into those tank ditches and they target it. But all the same, we had to move hard to ensure that we overcome those challenges, and we did. The only option is to move forward and take the war to the enemy. Because we were sitting in one place and the enemy could keep on throwing mortar shells in our positions. Even the airport was under threat. All our roads, our lines of communication were under threat. So the best option was to move the enemy far away from our position. So first phase was to move towards Bakara. Not to capture Bakara, but move towards Bakara. And we achieved that around the 28th of May. We achieved that, and that is Wana Road. Second phase was to get Bondere. And when we got to Bondere, it gave us now, it expanded, it created, it gave us now room to move on the enemy from a lot of prongs. The second phase of operation was to move to the stadium. Why was the stadium very important to us? It was the tactical headquarters of Al-Shabaab. That's where the planning cell was. That was where the training area was. All these mortar shells was being fired from the stadium. So when we moved to the stadium and avoided Bakara, it helped us to cut off their lines of communication. They could not come into Bakara. Of course, the ultimate goal was to get Bakara. Why? Bakara was the economic hub of the enemy. That's where the enemy was getting its funding. Come this side.
Okay.
You see? That one. Now, but this is the commercial center. Yes.
The center of Bakara.
Just from here to that, all those houses. That one we now control it. Of course, third phase was to get ex-control Balad. Ex-control Balad brings us to the end of phase 1 of AMISOM. Phase 1 of AMISOM says get Mogadishu. That is the strategic intent. So phase 1 now, when we get into ex-control Balad, that means we now control the whole of Mogadishu. Consolidation of Mogadishu requires more police personnel. We need now to bank on the police. There is need for international community to come and ensure that we help the police so that they are more efficient. So we need to increase the capability of the police and the national security and this other security agency. But the best option now is to move after the enemy. That's the best option. We have got Mogadishu. Where has the enemy gone to? Please continue ahead, go and break the backbone of the enemy as we move outside. You don't need to wait any longer. You don't need to give the enemy time even to plan. Since they have lost the initiative, get after them. That's what it is.
No, they have. Clear.
5 months ago, we could not move outside of this base camp. Where are we today? We have 16 districts of Mogadishu. Mogadishu comprises of 16 districts. Does Al-Shabaab shell our positions today? No. Does the enemy ambush our people within our area? No. Is life back into Mogadishu? Yes. Can people move out throughout the night? Yes. So those are the yardstick of measuring success. That's how you measure success. Are the people happy in Mogadishu town? Yes, they are. Activities are going on. When I came here, I didn't even see any vehicle moving on the street, but now there's a traffic jam. In kilometer 5, in kilometer 4, you can stay on the traffic for around 30 minutes. So why is that happening? Go back to Bakara now, business is booming. So that's the yardstick of measuring success.